Stop letting toxic individuals ruin your day, ruin your life, ruin your week, and stop putting up with them. And I'm saying this because, as someone who's put up with a lot of toxic people my entire life and finally standing up for myself, life is a lot better when you stop being afraid to cut these people off. So, a little backstory, I had a friend named Brandon, and this guy was a good friend of mine for a little bit, and he was in my friend group, and he was a cool guy. He played guitar, he played video games. I was into like retro games, Castlevania, Mario, that kind of stuff. And he was a really funny, charismatic guy. Really funny, really charismatic, very brave. He had a lot of good qualities. He was intelligent. He wasn't stupid. He was smart. You could have deep conversations with him. And he was just kind of one of these guys that you could talk about pretty much anything with. But his being friends with him was kind of a strange experience because he would be like really nice in a one-on-one setting. Let's say you hung out with this guy one-on-one. He was really nice. He seemed like a normal, genuine person. But when you're hanging out in the group of friends, he was like a very like aggressive. He would start acting very aggressive. He was the kind of guy that would didn't have any sense of personal space. He would poke you or touch you as like a prank. He would, take like a piece of your food. If you're eating like at a restaurant, he would like grab a piece of your food and eat it. Oh, haha, I got your fucking French fry. And it's kind of some like these little things, he would do these little fucking things pushing the boundaries. And that's what a lot of these toxic people do. Like they keep pushing and pushing and pushing the boundaries until eventually they start doing some real crazy shit. And if you keep putting up with it, it gets worse and worse. So I'm going to get into it in the story. So he did a lot of things, and there's too many things that I could really go over in this video, but he started off, doing like little stuff like that to like the friend group. And then he started doing like even worse stuff. He had got caught in stealing at one of my friend's houses. He stole like $5 or some shit. And kind of just got swept under the rug. Another thing he would do is he would like steal at Walmart. Like he was like our friend, but he wasn't really a good person. And we just put up with it because honestly, we weren't really good people either. This is when I was in high school, when I was around 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. From like 15 years old to like 18 years old, I was like friends with this guy. And we were not good people. The kind of group I was hanging out with, we were doing like bad stuff. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I was doing bad stuff too. And we thought it was funny, but under the surface of that, he really was just a bad person. And he wasn't like, everyone in that friend group has basically kind of grown up, and we don't do that kind of stuff anymore, of course. Like we don't steal anymore. We don't, prank call people or do pranks and shit. Like that stuff is gone. But he was someone who just like couldn't grow up. He kept doing it. And alcohol started getting involved. So this guy, he started drinking, and he was like getting more and more violent as time like went on. He would like low-key sexually harassing us. He would like grab people's asses as like a joke. And he was also a shit talker. So another thing that was bad about him is he would just like spill everyone's dirty laundry and shit and like use people's word against them. And he would like make you seem like so trustworthy. So you would tell him things, and then he would go and like talk shit about you behind your back. While like if he was hanging out with you, it seemed like he was talking like about everybody, and you were like the cool guy that he trusted. But in reality, when he's hanging out with someone else, he's literally doing the same thing. Now you're the one he's talking about, and he's hanging out with someone else. But he was a toxic individual, and I stopped putting up with it. I was like starting to like, you know what? Fuck this dude, right? And me and one of my friends in the group, I kind of told him, I was like, you know what? I really don't like Brandon. And he said the same thing. He was like, dude, I feel the same way. Like, I'm fucking tired of him. My friend that said this, he said he caught Brandon stealing alcohol at his house. There was like an expensive bottle of like liquor, and he caught him like taking a shot without permission. And when my friend saw him, he like put it back on like the fucking shelf real fast. So he was like caught doing that, and that pissed off my buddy. And then so we started talking to like a couple other friends, and you know, they were just kind of fed up with him too. Eventually, it was like the whole group was kind of like, oh yeah, you know, I really actually don't like this guy. And it's weird because we put up with that shit for years. We put it, what's the lesson behind this story? We put up with that fucking asshole for years. We put up with a guy in our friend group that everyone was afraid of saying the truth, that he was a piece of shit and he was like obnoxious to be around. And for so long, we put up with that garbage, you know? And now looking back, a lesson that I learned from that, and the lesson I'm trying to pass on to you, is like, don't fucking like put up with that shit for years until it breaks you. Like, if there's someone who's like a scumbag or a piece of shit or whatever, like, you don't owe them anything. Like, live your life. Don't fucking like bow down to them. Don't try to like accustom yourself to them. Like, if it's the friend group, right? You know, if the whole friend group is fucking toxic, leave that friend group. Get the fuck out of that friend group. You know, your family is toxic. If you live in a toxic family situation, move out. Like, do whatever you got to do to get out of that, because it's holding you back. It's making your life worse. It's giving you a lot of negative energy, and it's kind of turning you into a bad person too. You know, this Brandon guy, when we would hang out with him, we would end up being more negative people because we were kind of like being drawn towards his vibration, you know, of his negativity. So don't put up with that shit. You know, if you're in a toxic relationship, even like it could be your girlfriend, it could be your boyfriend, like don't stay in that relationship. Like, if this person is not a good person and you know it, and they haven't changed, and you've given them multiple chances. And I'm going to give you guys like a little bit of advice on how a lot of these people like operate, these toxic people. They'll push the boundaries until like you kind of like draw the line, and they'll kind of like pull themselves back, and they'll like make concessions. Like, they'll act super nice. They'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry for doing that. Like, when you're at your breaking point, when they know that you're about to snap, they'll kind of like pull themselves back and they'll change up their like behavior. I've noticed this with like almost every fucking toxic person in my life. Like, they'll temporarily act like a better person. They'll temporarily kind of, you know, put a hold on their antics for a little bit. And then the fucking game starts again, right? Like, they start pushing, like doing little fucking things to you. They start fucking pushing the boundary again. They make you feel bad. And, you know, every now and then, a lot of these people, you know, they might do something nice for you too. Like, and it's not even in like, yeah, like genuinely being nice. They'll do like a favor for you or do something nice to you, almost to like draw you in and get you like back within their orbit. Maybe they'll buy you something. Maybe they'll do you a favor. Maybe they'll stick up for you, right? Like, they can do good things. You know, these toxic people, you know, sometimes they'll do like good things for you. They'll do something nice, and you have to be really paying attention to like know if it's like a genuine thing that they're doing just to be nice, or if they're trying to like manipulate you, right? Another thing with these toxic folks is they're big manipulators. A lot of them are very charismatic. A lot of them know how to talk very well. They know how to, you know, put you in a comfortable spot. They know how to put you in an uncomfortable spot. They know how to like push your buttons. They know like things that you're into. Like, these people study you. These people study you, and they learn you. They learn, you know, your likes and dislikes. They learn what makes you happy and sad. They learn about the drama going on in your life. They're also sponges for drama. You know, they love to hear about all the shit going on in your life. These people also, they're like sponges for negativity. Or, you know, if there's anyone out there, right, these toxic people or these manipulative people, they love to listen to your problems. They love to hear about how your relationship is falling apart. And, you know, they'll sit there next to you and be like, oh, yeah, fuck that bitch. Like, oh, you're in the right. You know, they'll agree with you. They'll take your side. And, you know, whenever you're talking about, they will make you like feel like you're the good guy or whatever. And, you know, there's so many, I could go into even more things that they do, like things that you need to watch out for, you know, being, you know, it's you have to really study this shit, man. Like, and you have to think about like the toxic people you had in your past, the people that are just, you know, have problems, negative people in general. Like, you have to look back and you have to look at like the relationship as a whole and see like the red flags. You know, having a toxic friend is like having a toxic girlfriend. Like, it really is. Like, it's a relationship. It's two people that have a bond, and one person is causing negativity. I mean, you know, and sometimes, you know, you could be the toxic one too. Like, you know, there's toxic people can sometimes link up. You know, if you're in a toxic relationship, you could also be like toxic as well without even thinking about it. It's like I said, you know, sometimes you're the toxic one and you might have toxic friends because that's just like the wavelength that you're running on. But you need to get yourself on like a better wavelength. You need to improve like the people around you. You need to hang out with people that are good people, that are nice people, people that have empathy, people that have goals, people that have dreams, people that are going to treat you with respect. They're not going to cross your boundaries. They're not going to fucking steal from you. They're not going to ask you to do something that you don't want to do. Like, ever since, you know, having all that shit going on, and he wasn't the only person that was like that, by the way. I've had to remove like many toxic people from my life, probably like a few family members, a few friends, a couple girlfriends, you know, here and there. And when you surround yourself with nice people, it's so much easier. It's so much better. You know, you don't feel like this energy drain on you. You don't feel this like fucking, like you're walking on eggshells with this person. You don't feel like that this person is fucking draining you of energy, or like that they're like an energy vampire or some shit that's around you all the time. Someone that's fucking making you do things that you don't want to do. Like, don't fucking put up with anybody that tries to force you to do something that you don't want to do. Like, don't do that. Don't put up with that. Like, your soul is not meant to be used like that. Like, this is your life. This is your life. You have control. Like, stop feeling like you have to please others. Stop feeling like you have to fucking do the right thing and be polite, and that you're scared of hurting someone's feelings. You know, like this is a lesson that I should have learned a long time ago. You know, being afraid to like let someone go, being afraid to hurt someone's feelings. And it's like, sometimes you'll stick with someone just because you're afraid of hurting their feelings, or that you're afraid of pissing them off. You know, so you just sacrifice yourself instead. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to put up with this person that I really don't fucking like, just so I don't like rock the boat or upset the balance. Like, this is like a maturity thing. This is like a bravery thing. Like, you have to be brave enough to like break that shit off. You have to be brave enough to fucking cut that tumor off before it festers and it goes out of control. And yeah, when you cut that person off, it's going to be painful. It's like a fucking infection. You know, you can't remove someone like this without going through a little bit of pain yourself. You know, you might even like this person. You might even fucking have like a soft spot for this person, right? You know, even though they're a piece of shit, even though they're toxic, you have some sort of fucking fucked up sympathy for them. And, you know, we all have people like that in our life. You know, like, you know, this person's a piece of shit and you don't really like them, but you kind of just, you know, you have like a soft spot for them. Like, oh, you know, he's not completely bad. He's not a completely bad person. You know, there's this moment where he helped me out. Who gives a shit? Like, you need people that are not going to treat you bad. You need people that are not bad people. You need people with goals. You need people that fucking show kindness to others. You need people that are positive, essentially. Like, really, everything boils down to energy. Like, everything in life is just fucking energy. You know, particles are energy, waves are energy, there's life energy, there's fucking negative and positive energy. There's fucking everything, literally, even the physical world is just made of energy, right? There's all these forces. And humans have energy too. Like, we have energy, you know. Sometimes someone in a bad mood can fucking transfer that bad mood to you. You know, that person might fucking be, just causing problems for you and fucking ruin your whole day. And they're transferring negative energy to you. Energy is contagious. You know, if you're positive, you can spread positivity. If you're negative, you can spread negativity. Energy, like, particles can change each other. Particles and energy affects one another. Everything in this world is fucking connected. You know, friendships, relationships, everything's connected. Like, people know when you're thinking about them. People can feel your presence. People can feel your vibe. So stop putting up with negative bullshit. Don't be afraid. You know, let the negativity go. Just let it go. Let it fucking go off. This person will be fine without you. And trust me, they will be fine. And if they fucking try to do some sort of retribution or try to fucking ruin your life, like, I'm sorry, but just get through it. You know, some of these people may try to retaliate against you, and it's going to be scary. You know, maybe you don't want to cut this person off just because you're scared of the retaliation, or you know that this person's going to try to fucking ruin your life. Well, honestly, that's going to be better. Like, short term, it's going to suck because there's going to be a bunch of drama and bullshit going on. But long term, you're going to be so much more at peace. Like, this guy that I cut off, the one I'm using as an example in this story, this dude, I haven't seen him in years. I haven't seen this guy in fucking years. And I'm so glad that I don't have him in my life anymore. I'm so happy that I'm not hanging out with this fucking dickhead. And I can't imagine if I spent the last like fucking 5-6 years of my life with this guy still hanging around. Like, screw that, you know, like, my life would have been so much worse. My life, like, trust me guys, like, it's worth it. It's completely worth it. If you have a similar story of someone like this, please leave a comment down below, leave a like, share this video, ring my bell, watch my other videos. Peace.